Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, welcome, hi. Live Tuesdays everyone. Lisa's on the screen. If you're on Instagram you can't see Lisa, but I'll show her to you quickly. Hello Instagram. Say hi Lisa. Okay. YouTube, she's on the bottom right of your screen, I think. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Hi guys. Tell us if you're here. Tell us if you're new, especially, so we can explain what's going on and what we do here every Tuesday night. Load shedding.
Hello Ashley. Hi Nancy. Hi Safira. Hi Zarina. Hi Lynn. Welcome, welcome.
Hello Lynn, haven't seen you for a while. How's the Hulk treating you? Guys, tell us if you're new. Hi, welcome. Let me explain just a little bit. We'll probably say this another 2 times. Welcome to Live Tuesdays. If you want to know what Live Tuesdays is, me, Lisa, and my sister-in-law, we own a company called Fabric8, and it's an online creative supply store where we hope to tickle your fancy in all things sewing, knitting, crochet, and soon to, I keep saying soon, but possibly only next year, crafting. We have some crafting, but we'll have more crafting by then. And we do this, it's a sort of a tutorial question and answer session, and we do it every Tuesday night at 7. Obviously, if we have load shedding, we can't do it. And we try and move it, but it's always a pain to move, so we just last week we didn't have. So what we do is normally it's about an hour of a tutorial. We either make something together, or I explain things to you that you've asked for. Like tonight is about interfacings. I've had many questions and about interfacing and what to use when, and enzovoort, soos hulle sê. And that's what we're doing tonight. And then afterwards, that's normally an hour about. And then afterwards, we have a general Q&A where you can ask me anything sewing, and actually anything. And I will, if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. As I said, this is my daughter Lisa. She is studying in Pretoria. So she is here sometimes, but mostly just via the internet. Hi, tell us if you're new. We like to know who our newbies are.
Give some shout outs.
Okay.
Hi Carmen on YouTube.
Carmen.
I see Facebook is quiet as ever unless I just don't understand Facebook. Hi Helen. Hi Julie Babe. Hi Laurel. Hi Bernie. Hello everyone.
Okay, so normally with our tutorial we have a pattern, or at least the information sheet, where hopefully everything I say is repeated. And this is available on our website at www.fabric, the word fabric, with the number 8.co.za. And you can, all the old patterns are on there. I think we're at project 29 today or something like that. So there are at least 15 patterns that you can download, and I would suggest you download them quickly, because start of the new year we're actually going to take them down and put them in book form. You will see it prints out like this, and let me just show you one that has a pattern, and it prints out on A4, and it'll have the pattern like this, which you just then jigsaw together. Okay, and it'll always have a little bit of a how-to in front, and then like tonight we don't have a pattern. It'll have an information sheet that you can use. For example, like tonight, it's on interfacings. So we also have many different WhatsApp groups, guys, and these are extremely cool to be in, because I learn things every day. And this is for people. We have 2 sewing groups. We have a naaldwerk groepie, Afrikaans one. We have a knitting, we have a crochet, we have embroidery, and what else, Lisa? Well, there are many. Also, if you want to...
Quilting.
Quilting, yes. If you want to find those WhatsApp groups or the patterns or anything like that, if you go on our website, you'll see on the home page there's like a horizontal menu system, and you'll see a bright little pink block, and it says free sewing lessons. All our downloads are on there. Also, all the resources that we post. For instance, there are some of our stuff that we sell, like the Hulk, which is a press studs and snap tool. It's all on there so that it's easier for you to order. We also have, like, for instance, the whole color shade card of all the isocord embroidery threads, things like that. We also have the machine needle booklet on there for you to download if you don't know which needle to use with what fabric. So everything is on there.
I've also posted the link to our WhatsApp groups in the chat on everywhere.
Yay!
The link in our bio on Instagram, and I posted it everywhere else, so you shouldn't be doubting.
Okay, so I'm going to just do a quick, I don't know who was here 2 weeks ago. We do have a charity project that we are running at the moment.
Aww.
And it's called Fundies. And what it is basically is we are making underwear, as you can see, underwear for the kids at Red Cross Hospital. And this is because obviously it's charity, so you will actually provide your own fabric and make them and then send them to us. And the pattern is on our website, and also the previous live is how to make the panties or the underwear, because I made it to look like a unisex. So depending on what fabric you use, it can be boy or girl, or you could just try and make it in like a neutral color so that boys and girls can wear it. And these are for kids in Red Cross Hospital. They arrive there sometimes with their parents, sometimes without, from all over the country, and they have the clothes on their back. And I was also told that many of the boys actually come there without underwear, just wearing a pants. And I said last week, if you had to choose between buying a pants for your child or underpants, wouldn't you rather just get him a pants? So they arrive there and might stay for months without their parents, and there is no underwear. Now, if they're wearing nappies, which is up until about 2, then it's fine, because that the hospital does provide. But if they're not wearing nappies, they actually walk around bare bum in their hospital gowns. So we approached Warriors of Hope, and you'll see all the legalities about Warriors of Hope and Red Cross, which we didn't have last time. They are all on there. We are now official, and we have all our admin letters from them saying that it's official. So you guys don't have to be worried that it won't go to the right place. They know who we are, and we have registered, and everything is on above board. Please, also on that page, you'll see at the top of our website there's a little like a picture that says Fundies, Fundies, Fundies for undies, obviously, and you can click there and you can register. Tomorrow I'm going to start a WhatsApp group for the Fundies people, because so that we can communicate and get the stuff to a central point, or just get them to me. We are aiming for, I think, end August to make our first presentation to them. They have something big happening at the hospital, and we would like to then present some of the fundies. For those of you who don't sew, we will be launching charity projects for knitting and crocheting soon. Those we are doing, what's that charity? I keep forgetting their names. Gift of the Givers, and it's not official yet, but we are working with them to provide them with beanies, I think, fingerless gloves, and what is a scarf?
Scarf.
A scarf. So The reason why we're still working on them is that they need lots at a time. So we are working on a year project. So to have enough by next winter. But that'll launch soon. Okay, anything else, Lisa? Shall we?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, just one more thing about the fundies. Yes.
Let us know if you're here.
I forgot to say the pattern is also, you print it out. This is actually the fundies pattern, and it goes from a size 3, I think, size 3 to a size 12.
And the size 12 is big enough for me to actually wear.
Yes. But we actually went out and bought some undies, size-wise, to check my sizing, and the sizing are correct. But my suggestion would be that we actually concentrate on up to 10 years about. Yeah, we can always later, if they really do need the bigger sizes, we can work on them. But I find it quite fun to make the small ones. Okay, so shall we start, Lisa?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Hey, let's say hi to a few people. Hello, Smile, Taylor, Moana, Phoebe, Judy. Welcome, everyone. Let us know if you're here. We are doing an interfacing tutorial tonight, so you can learn everything you need to know about interfacing. It's been highly requested.
Yeah, everyone's asking about it. And that's called Violin in the old terms. But yeah, just so you know.
And if you want to download interfaces or instructions, they're always free, or at least they're free for now, so grab them while you can. www.fabric8.co.za/live-tuesdays. We've got 29 projects, so all 29 documents are up there, including tonight's interfacing instructions.
Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay, or are you gonna go?
I can stay.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
So
can move me if you want.
no, I'm not bothered. You can tell me if there's questions or anything. Okay. So this is tonight. Tonight's leaflet, I'm gonna say, because it's not a pattern, and it's, as I said, all about interfacings. And I'm just going to have my notes here because I did write them, but I don't want to go from one page to another page, so that I just keep to the actual thing. Okay, so obviously I'm sure you all know this, but interfacing is a layer of either woven, non-woven, or knitted fabric that we put in between our fabric, 2 pieces of fabric, to provide it with either stiffness or just support, because it needs support because you've got like a flimsy fabric, or even, you know, if you think about a handbag, that stiffening part is also actually called interfacing. Now you get many different types. I will at the end of this tell you what I use, because I've narrowed it down to about 2 or 3 that I use, and but let's just go through all of them for now. Okay, so it comes in 2 main types. The first is fusible iron-on and non-fusible iron-on. So into. Non-fusible means not iron-on. Okay. Iron-on, which is called fusible. What is the word fusible? It means we are fusing things together. That's why it's called interfacing or fusing. Okay, and then you get non-fusible. That means it actually it does not iron on. It's just an extra stiffening. It has no glue. It doesn't stick to anything. All right. And then you also get your, so let's just make this easy. So you get iron on and you get non-iron on, okay? Or fusible or non-fusible. That's the same thing. Then it comes in 3 different types of fabric. So weaves, you can call it, or fabric, okay? The one is called,
Just one thing. I think we forgot to mention, if you guys have any questions as we go along about interfacing, feel free to ask it as we go along. I'll ask Amanda out loud. And then if you have any questions that are unrelated to interfacing, save them for the end and we'll do a general Q&A.
Yeah. Okay. So you get 3 types of fusing or interfacing. The one is called non-woven. Now, what does non-woven mean? Normal fabric or woven fabric is literally woven strands of threads. So that's why it does this. It can unravel, okay? Because it's strands like this and strands like this, and they're interwoven, okay? So non-woven means that it hasn't been woven. Now, I can explain to you how non-woven is made. It is basically plastic or polyester or any one of the man-made things. And what they do is that it's almost like they melt it. And then, I don't know if you've seen these, it's a big thing now in the cooking, as they make that, it's called, I think it's called like fairy, I don't know, whisper or something, but they do this with the sugar. And it makes like, it's like candy floss. Candy floss is sugar that's melted down and then just spun very quickly, and it makes candy floss. Now, non-woven, that is what it means. So it's actually almost like paper, but it isn't paper. It's made from fabric, or it's made from, I don't know. I think it's a poly something. There's very fancy words. Okay, so it doesn't unravel. Firstly, because it's almost made like paper. So they throw this stuff on a thing and then they press it and it comes out. It's non-woven. Okay. The next one you get is called a woven interfacing. Now, woven interfacing, just like woven fabric, can unravel, okay, on both sides. Just to show you, yeah. Okay, so what is woven interfacing? Is basically a piece of fabric, woven fabric, that has been made into interfacing by adding a glue layer on the one side. We'll still get to the glue part. And then the last one of the 3 is called knitted interfacing. Now, if you look at it closely, it almost, I don't know, what fabric would you? It's like a really thin panty or t-shirt fabric, because it's knitted. So it's actually the same thing as t-shirt fabric. It's just knitted with much finer needles and thinner thread. But the biggest thing about knit fabrics is they can stretch. Okay, so with the woven one, let me show you, it has as much stretch as any normal woven fabric has. So it has no stretch. Okay, with the non-woven, which is that paper one I'm talking about, it's not actually paper, but it's made in the same way. It has no stretch, and if you try hard enough, I don't want to screw up my sample, so I'm going to do it on another one. If you try hard enough, it will actually tear. Okay, so this is non-woven. It tears, it breaks, so you can't actually use it on stretch fabric. The woven one you can't use on stretch, because unless you want to use a stretch fabric but you want it to actually perform like a woven, so you want to actually take some of the stretch away, you'll actually put something like this onto it. And then you get the one that's called knit, and it has stretch. Okay, all right, so those are the 3 different weaves or types of fabric. All right, so we've now done 2 parts of this. Oh, my foot is asleep, sorry. The first one was, let me just get my wording. The first 2 main types, of which we said there was iron-on, fusible, and non-fusible, meaning sew in. You're not going to iron it on, you're going to sew it in. Then you get 3 different types of fabrics. The one is a non-woven, that's the one that can easily tear. The next one is the woven, and the next one is the knit fusing. All right, and now in all of those three, well, it's actually now Matthew can do the maths. We have 2 and a 3. That makes it
6.
6. In all of those 6, we now have at least 3 different weights, meaning light, thin, medium, semi, and heavy duty. Okay, so you can imagine when you walk into a store, there could easily be 20 different interfacings or fusing there for you to choose from. It's always easier to narrow it down. Get yourself a lightweight one, a medium weight, and if you need heavy or you ever use heavy, have a heavy one also. So what I'm going to show you on non-woven, for instance. These are all non-woven. This one, and this one. Non-woven. Can I show? Is there a body cam on?
No, it is not.
Okay, so no,
Yes,
don't worry.
I will put
don't
it
worry.
on.
No, doesn't need to be on.
I do not know why it's not on.
I'm trying to put it on.
Okay.
It should be on.
It should be on. You're right. I do not. I am very sorry, guys. That is. Oh.
Tell me if you can see them if I hold them up like this.
I played the wah-wah sound to indicate how sad and how much of a mess up that was. I'm so sorry, guys. Body cam is now on. Please enjoy.
Okay, so this would be a lightweight. If you can see, it's quite thin, very flimsy, and see-through. Okay? Then this would be the next one, and it's difficult to show you, but can you see that this one is still a little bit see-through, and it's still softish. While this one would be a heavy. And can you hear it? It literally sounds like paper. Okay, but they're all non-wovens. So if you had to have all of them, there is still in between also. But we will still get to what you need to have in your sewing basket. All right, but that's just so that you have an understanding of the different types.
You mean other than everything? What you need to have other than everything?
Yeah. If you need to have everything, please go ahead and get them. Okay. All right. So it is important to choose the right type of interfacing for the right project. Okay. So many times if you are using a pattern that you bought, they will actually give you a good indication of what you should be using. The other option is always to go to the fabric store. I always say this, there's always someone there that actually sews. Well, hopefully, I don't know, it used to be like that. And if you ask them, I am making a shirt, what interfacing should I use? Many times they can help you. A lot of things about fabric, and I see interfacing.
Amanda, just the body cam is pointed at a weird angle. Can you just shift it upwards?
See, this is why I didn't think it would work. It's only when I stand up. Anyway, because, all right, so.
Can one use starch spray on interfacing to reinforce more, especially when using stretch fabric?
Starch spray washes out. So if you mean to use it while you are sewing, you are welcome to use starch spray. Let me just say something about starch spray. Guys, if you use starch spray on your projects, that's not a problem. Firstly, make sure that it's dry before you start sewing. And secondly, guys, if you've ever mixed starch, if you buy starch, you'll see it's a very, very fine white powder, okay? So mixing it with water, all it does, it doesn't actually, when it dries again, that's how you get the stiffness, is it dries and the water evaporates and that very fine powder stays in the fabric, and that's what's giving you more structure. But what a lot of people don't know is this very fine white powder, if you sew a lot on your machine with starched fabrics, it actually gives off a dust and it gets stuck in your machine, which is not a problem if you clean your machine regularly. Okay? If you don't, I have recently actually had a machine in that was completely stuck, and it's not an old machine. it was bought from me. I would be surprised if it was out of warranty even. It completely, what is that word? It's not fused. It stopped. The needle would not move anymore. I was frantic when I heard this. I thought something big went wrong. And I opened up that machine and I found like almost like a mud. I want to say mud because it's not white when it's down there in the oil and everything. But, and when I asked what they sew, they told me they sew a lot of unwashed 𝐓𝐈𝐈 fabric. Now, 𝐓𝐈𝐈 fabric is dipped or put into starch water to give it that stiffness. And if you don't wash it, that's what happens. So please be careful of starch spray. And what I mean by that is just make sure that you clean your machine regularly. We do have a thing, we did do a machine clean, eh? Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so we have a video on that somewhere. Huh?
It's also like one of those things where if you like satisfying a video with you taking all the dirt out and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
very satisfying
Yeah.
watch.
Okay, so I especially took my literally my dirtiest machine and kept it for that video. Okay, so that's the answer to starch spray. Just be aware that you're gonna have to clean your machine more often than you would otherwise. Okay, all right. So me personally, I never use sew in fusing. I don't actually see the point. If you can get, I don't understand why would one not fuse it? Okay, there is some instances. Some instances you cannot actually glue. Your fabric is so thin or see-through or whatever that you can't actually glue something to it because then the glue is going to show. Okay, but I very rarely work in fabrics like that, and I would also suggest that those fabrics need to be very, you have to be very sure that you actually want to fuse them or interface them at all, because the interfacing will show through if they're that thin and see-through. So that is my tip. But in this little book, there is a lot of tips about non-fusible. Okay, so that means it has no glue on it. Okay, so let me explain to you. How do you know if a fusing has glue on it? Okay, so if I feel on this side, it almost, this fabric feels like, it's like a soft, like a, I'm going to say t-shirting because it's like a soft, sort of soft woolly kind feel to it. If I turn it over, firstly, I can feel that it's rough. If I angle it at a certain angle, let me try and do this with the camera. Can you see it? I want to show you, this is the soft side, okay? And then if you look at that side, can you see that there's more dots? There's like dots on it, and it's rougher. Now I'm going to take another one. This is a white one, and same feeling, soft and velvety, but it's not velvety, it's just soft, okay? And on the other side, I can feel a little bit of roughness. The roughness is the glue, all right? So let's take a thicker one. Now, on the thicker ones, you'll see that, can you see it's like a matte? And if I turn it over, can you see this slight shine? Does it show? I'm trying to wiggle it till it shows. Anyone in this room with me? Can they please tell me if you can see the shiny bits?
I have a delay, so I can't tell you.
Okay, but everyone's got that delay, so just when you see it, the one side is matte,
I can see.
and then there's a shiny bit. Okay? So
I can see it.
Okay, so the shiny side, obviously that's glue. Okay. Alright, so that's that one. This one, again, matte on the one side, and the shiny bits are more dotty, but it's also still shiny bits. That is glue. Alright, let's go to this one. This is the woven interfacing. On this side, again, it's matte. On the other side, I can't see that much of a shine, but I can definitely feel the glue on the woven ones are actually quite a bit more glue. So you can literally, I don't know if you can hear that, but literally I can feel the glue. All right. So let me show you this, for instance. This is called spider web or double-sided fusing. What does it mean? It means this is the glue. This is just the glue. There is no fabric to it. This is just the glue. So if you can imagine taking that and sticking this on it in one process, that's what that glue looks like. So it's a thin, see-through, heat-activated piece of almost like mesh, and you just need to find it on your interfacing. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly read through here so we get everything. I said far easier to do. Okay, so this is all about fusible interfacing. I haven't read this since last week when I wrote it. So obviously this is where you don't use fusible. Remember, fusible, iron on. Okay, is we're not going to use iron on fusing when we use fabrics that has a nap. What is a nap? A nap is that, if you think about velvet, it has that pile like a carpet that can move. One side it goes darker, the other side it goes lighter. So you're never going to fuse fabric like that, because the heat will act on your pile or your little hairs of your fabric, and it'll make it go flat or melt it. All right. Fabrics that is what's called an open weave or a very loose weave. So almost is the fabric I'm thinking about seersucker. It's like it's loosely woven, so you can actually almost see through the fabric even though it's not thin threads. Obviously you won't fuse that because this will show through. You don't get fusing in 100 different colors. You only get it in black, or black, which is this gray, or the white. So you're not going to put, you have a loosely woven pink top or fabric. You're not going to put white or gray behind it if it's see-through. Okay. All right. So let's move on. They would follow the internet, because as I said, I do not use sew-in interfacing. So I did have to Google this. Sew-in interfacing, they suggest, is what you use on fabrics like that. But my logical mind says, okay, so the fabric is see-through or loosely woven, so you don't want to use fusing, but now you're going to put fusing in it. It's just not going to be ironed on, but it's still going to see through. Okay, so I will explain to you later what I do with fabrics like that. Okay, so please take a look at, read this through. I'm not going to go through everything. If you read it and there's a question, please ask me. Okay, so let me explain something else. Non-woven. There's a lot of words to remember. Non-woven, this is the paper-like one, is more economical. Why? Because it has no grain line. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you lay this pattern out. You can even go skew, you can go straight, you can go horizontal. It doesn't matter. So you can literally use an offcut like this. It doesn't matter about grain line. Okay, so it's a more economical one. Woven, let me get my sample again. Woven works exactly like fabric because it is a fabric. Okay, so for instance, this is the selvage of this fabric. So the grain line runs parallel with the selvage. So I would lay out my pattern pieces exactly the same way as I would lay it out on normal fabric. So it's not as economical. If it's an offcut, you can't use it because you don't know where the grain is, and you can't go skew because then you on, as I said, bias, which you also don't want to be on. Then it provides no strength and things like that. Okay, and then you have your knit. So knit is a little bit stretchy, but what I find with knit, and I use a lot of knit, even though I don't like sewing with knits, I find that it provides, especially for shirting and things, that I find that many times when I'm using non-woven interfacing, is after a while, if you wash it quite a bit and you didn't get a proper good, we don't know what we're buying. In South Africa, we don't have branded interfacing. It's on a roll, you buy it, you don't know if it's good or bad. Okay, so I find a lot of times that after a few washes, some of these interfacings actually start disintegrating. So then what you get is like clumps of interfacing stuck in your collar, because it's now done what almost like a feather duvet does. It's all clogged into the corner. So for most things that I used to use non-woven interfacing, I stopped using that when I was studying, and I never knew about knitted interfacing. Sorry, that's my dog. Must be someone in the road. So for many of my sewing projects, I actually use knitted interfacing, and you also get this in lightweight, medium, and heavy. Okay, so lightweight knitted interfacing many times is used in wedding dresses. It's a very, very thin see-through, and I think you get it like in a white, you get it in a cream and a light pink. So it's sort of made for the wedding industry. I know you can even fuse it onto chiffon and things like that because it's so thin. But I use the medium. This is the medium weight. So as I said, the lightweight is really it's almost like breath. It's so thin. This is the medium weight, and I also use the heavier one. It's just slightly darker, just slightly thicker. All right, so this is my go-to, the knitted one. As I said, I use this for almost everything, because what I find is, why would you use interfacing except for in a collar to give you strength? Another place where I always use interfacing is when I'm on the two bits or the two edges when I'm sewing a zip. I always, many patterns also suggest that you face or interface that little part. Why? Because while you stretch, let me get the words right. While you're sewing your zip, your fabric tends to stretch a little bit. Okay, which is a normal thing. It's a natural thing. It's not to worry about. But so what you do is you fuse your zip edge, that 2 centimeter where the zip's gonna run, to stop it doing that stretch. But sometimes you've already got your stiff zip in there. Okay, zip is stiffer than the fabric, and now you're gonna put some fusing in there, which is non-woven. And many times I find that it actually makes that part of the dress or the skirt or whatever even stiffer. While if you're using, you can see the difference. I mean, look at the difference between that and this. While if you use this, it makes it less stretchy. It doesn't deform as much, but it's still as soft as the fabric. All right. So I don't know. I've lost my space already. Okay, we've already talked about the colors. It normally comes, the knit comes in a black and a white. Okay, and as I said, the really lightweight one, I have seen that in like a champagne, and I've seen it. I think it's because it's used in the wedding industry. Okay, the non-woven normally comes in like this gray, and then the gray will just get thicker, and it comes in a white. Okay, you do get pink and blue non-woven interfacing that has no glue on it, and a lot of people use those. It's actually made for patterns, to trace patterns on. But I suppose if you use no iron interfacing, you could use those pink and blue ones also. But again, those are specially made to trace and copy patterns. So if you ever see pink or blue interfacing on a roll, that is actually used like pattern paper. Because it's slightly see-through, you can trace a pattern through it. Okay. The woven one, I have seen this in white. I have seen it in grey, but it's like a like a light, it's like a medium grey. So it actually looks a little bit lighter than this, and I've seen it in black. I have not seen the black often, but I have seen that. And mostly the ones that if you ask for woven interfacing, most places have the white and the grey. But I have seen the black. This specific one is a very good one because I can feel the glue. Glue is important. We'll talk about that now. Okay. So the next bit we're gonna do is how to apply your interfacing and how not to. I don't think there's a. Okay. So I'm gonna move this slightly. There we go. Yay! All right. Okay, so when you want to use fusing, you're obviously always going to put the fusing on the wrong side of the fabric. I mean, nobody wants, a collar that's supposed to be blue to be white. So it's always going to be on the wrong side of your fabric. So I'm going to start. I've got these little lappies. They're all the same size, and they're all of a. It's quite a sturdy. Let me move this. Let's see. Can you see? There we go. Yeah.
Do you sell interfacing?
No, but we are going to. I have just received all my samples and I'm picking out of there. I'm working on that. Okay. We do have spiderweb double-sided fusing, and we also have fusible compressed fusible batting, which you can use in handbags and projects like that. Okay, so I'm going to just take this little bit of fabric so that, I don't know, in some way I can show you what the difference in stiffness it makes. So again, I am looking for the dots or feeling for the rough side, because the rough side has the glue on, and I do not want the glue on my iron. Okay, so depending on the thickness of your fusing, you should actually make your iron less hot, especially for a thin one like this, because it's not actually cotton or something natural. It does tend to burn quickly. But you can also just do quick like this. And can you see that I am not, okay? Because if I do that, I am stretching the two fabrics, and then I'm gonna change, I'm stretching the weave, and it's just gonna, so you always do, can you see how quickly that started burning? So quick, or just make your iron slightly, and as soon as you know you've burnt it, do this. There we go. All right, so that's the thin one. I've done the black so you can see. That's the thin one. And now I'm gonna put the medium one. And yes, you can use steam. You have to be very sure that it's actually stuck. If you want, you can also turn it around and iron on the right side without worrying about actually burning it. Okay, so that's the medium one, and this is the heavy one. Possibly with a heavy, you're going to take a little bit more time because it's going to take a little bit longer to get the heat to the actual glue. Okay, so these are the 3 different weights in non-woven fusible interfacing. Okay, so I want you to see that this one is still quite loose. If you should, I don't know, let's see, if you happen to want to do some puckering, you still can, but it does stiffen the fabric. Okay, that's the soft one. So that is always good for collars and, you know, button stands on your shirts, or even if you don't want to use the stretch to enforce your zip. Very good one, the thin one, okay. This is then the medium one. Doesn't feel like, oh, there's 2, that's why I thought. Doesn't look, see, it's not glued. So you have to be very sure that it is actually glued completely down. All right, so I want you to see that now. Can you see? This is not gonna, it's like I put a piece of paper on the back of this fabric. So what is this good for? The medium, I would say, is good for like a jacket, you know, the facing of a jacket or a coat, that you don't want to be super stiff, but you want it to have a little bit more shape. And on a jacket, you can also then use this on the collar, because you are wanting more, what is it? It's more shape, more tailored look. So I would use that on jackets and coats. Also, if you're making a small project, like for instance, say a makeup bag, and you want a little bit of stiffness, but you don't want it to be floppy completely, then this is a good one to use. All right, and then this one, I mean, this I would have to fold like a piece of paper to get the fabric to do what I wanted to do. It's stiff. Okay, so the heavy one is it's excellent for bags. As I said, if you want a little bit of stand on the bag, just remember that all interfacings get softer with wash. So it won't stay like this forever. It will get softer, but it won't get floppy soft like this one. All right. So this is a good interfacing for. I don't ever use these. I don't. I find this too hard and too stiff, and very quickly, if you use this in the wrong type of project, like clothing, very quickly you're going to get that homemade look. So the collar is not going to have a fall. It's going to stand. It's going to be stiff. It's going to be uncomfortable. I never use this in normal sewing every day. Okay, so those are those. I'm gonna actually do a little bit of the stretch also on this fabric, because as I said, I use this a lot. Let me just get, where did I cut? Okay, so that we can just get a I also have a piece of knit to put it on, so we're going to do that, but I just want to have a comparison with the so I'm gonna find my, and also guys, remember when you're doing any fusible interfacing, don't let it hang off your fabric, because it will glue to your ironing board. And don't, make sure that you've got the right side down, because you really don't want that glue on your iron. Okay, so this is very difficult. I would actually suggest that you guys go and buy a few pieces of, I bought, for instance, these are all 1/2 meters, because I don't use all of them. So, and test them. But this, if you see this, can you see it? It just provides is it strength? It's not strength. It just provides enough, but it's still soft. It's not paper. It's still soft. So this is my go-to for clothing. For collars, I would even, if I need something stiffer than this, I would even double it up, rather than using the non-woven. But guys, please don't tell this to other people, because there is specific rules and I just don't adhere to them. Okay, so I would even double it up if I didn't have a thicker one. If I was doing a collar on a shirt and I found that the single layer was not giving me enough support. But can you see that it keeps the drape of the fabric? It just, this one, I don't know, I just love this. I never used to use it until I started studying, and I think one of my lecturers actually said that she uses this, and I've never since used any other thing in clothing. And also I like if it happens to show, that just looks better to me. Anyway, okay, so that's that. Let's do a piece of the stretch. On the stretch, what's happening here? Someone's trying to phone me. What's happening here, Matthew? Lisa's gone.
Don't think so.
Oh, she's back. Lisa was gone, she's back. She's gone again. She's probably got load shedding or something.
She really had load shedding. I'm not sure if she's gone now.
Okay. I don't know, should we worry? Well, what's the time? Oh, we need to...
No, powers. The UPS that she has at her house is just down. So we'll just, call her when
she's back up.
When her power comes back on. If we are still
yes,
live, then we will call her, depending when her power comes back on.
Okay, guys. So now this obviously is a piece of t-shirting. Okay. So I'm trying to think, why would you need to fuse t-shirting? Oh, you know where? You know when you do golf shirts?
Yes.
That front little open bit with the buttons, the button stand, or it's called a placard. That's where you will use fusing. And the golf, if you're making a collar and not using ribbing, that's where you would use fusing. And also, obviously, if you're making a little, skater girl dress with a zip in, which I've done before, you would use this fusing there where you're going to put the zip in. Okay, so we have t-shirting. You can see it's very, very stretchy. And if I put any of the other fusing on this, it will take away some of the stretch because they are not stretch. Okay, so that's why when we use a knit fabric, we will always use a knit fusing. And just for interest's sake, I have never seen non-fusible knit fusing. So they always iron on, as far as I know. Because I've never seen that. I don't think it's a thing. Okay, so if you look at that now, can you see it's got less, it's not as stretchy as it used to be. So it gives a little bit support. And if you have something that's really stretchy and on the difficult bits you are struggling because it's stretching too much, you could easily fuse that to make it an easier to work with. All right, last bit is the woven interfacing. Now these I've seen I've not seen them in a really light version. I've seen them in a medium, and this one, which is quite I would call this heavy if I compare it to the others. All right, and I'm gonna just put that on there also. Nice thing about this is because it's woven cotton, it's not as finicky about heat like the others. Okay, so when do I use this? I use this a lot in bag making. Not necessarily for the body of the bag, but for anything that I want to make on the bag, or little flaps or anything that I want to stiffen. I use this a lot. Okay, because it provides quite a bit of strength. That won't fuse. It's probably got no glue on there. And it doesn't stretch. And what's nice about it, if you are making a bag and you fuse this to the inside, it almost looks like a lining. Okay. All right. So last but not least. Okay. So we have 2 pieces of fabric, and we want these 2 pieces of fabric to be stuck together. And this is where our spider web or double-sided fusing comes in. Now please, people, don't ever iron on double-sided fusing. Remember, I said this is just the glue. There's no paper, there's no nothing on it. So if I wanted to stick these 2 fabrics together, I would use double-sided fusing. Okay, you also need to let it cool, because remember the process is, it is sort of dry, heat activated glue. So as soon as it gets enough heat, it melts, and then it melts together with whatever you put in it. So if you go pulling on it while it's still hot, that glue is still wet. So it'll open up, it'll tear apart. Okay, and there we go, stuck together. Can you see? Stuck together. And that is fusing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you, okay, I've also added a little bit on cleaning your iron, because unfortunately working with fusing, you are bound to get some on your iron, and it is quite a pain to get off. But my best suggestion is, the minute it happens, and that's what's nice about these small little ironing boards, is either take a piece of fabric and put it over the edge of your ironing board, and just after it happened, just do that. It sometimes takes almost everything off, and then your cleaning job for later is easier. The best is to clean it when it happens, because what happens if you don't clean it when it happens, firstly, you might actually get some of that melted plastic onto something white later on. And also, it's like an oven. It almost cooks into your iron's foot, and then it gets more difficult to get off. So it's best to clean it as soon as it happens, as quickly as possible. I just want to say that some of these I've used, some of them I found on the internet, because what I use is I buy at Pick n Pay. Let me see if I can find it. I buy a little thing. It's an iron cleaner. I don't know where it is now, but it's normally at the laundry section. It's a little tube like this, and I clean with that. But if you don't want to buy something, I've heard a lot of people say baking soda and water works. It's in here. Also, the newspaper thing, it's the same as this fabric piece. You'll see that there is, it's just, when it's just happened, clean it. Kitchen cleaning sponges, guys, just don't use anything abrasive. Hey, I'm talking about those plastic scourers. You can use that to help you clean. And then obviously the commercial ironing cleaners, like I said. And then the last method, please listen to me. I did say, as a last resort, if you have screwed up your iron so badly that if you cannot clean it, you have to buy a new one, and you've tried everything else, you are welcome to try this. I have never tried it. To me, it seems like dangerous, but I found it on the internet, and a lot of people said it worked for an iron they were about to throw away. What they do is they take a little bit of nail polish remover or acetone, okay? But I do not suggest doing this with an iron you haven't already written off, okay? Because I'm not going to taste it. Never, I won't taste it, and I don't have an old iron that I can taste it on for you. But I found it on the internet, and I found it actually at a quite a reputable site, and people said as a last resort, you can try that. All right, that's it. We are done.
Aren't you guys glad that you got some of those good tips from Amanda?
Yeah, tell me if you have any questions, anything further. Remember, guys, when you are inserting plastic cams or even just snaps or inserting a button, you can easily just fuse that little bit. You know, when you have like a really yucky, like, I don't know, what is it, cotton, thin, flimsy cotton. If you put one or double up 2 pieces of this right there where your button's going to be sewn on, it provides a little bit more strength that your button doesn't break out quickly. If you have a button that's actually broken out, like many times, you know, I don't know, if you guys are ripping your husband's shirts off and the button breaks off, it's made a hole in the fabric. So just put 2 or 3 pieces in between. Obviously the button stand's going to be like this. Just put a few pieces in between and then sew on the button again, because it gives you fabric where you've lost fabric. So a lot of times, you know, like jeans buttons, they fall off and then the hole gets too big and the button keeps popping out of the hole. You can make that hole smaller by inserting in between the 2 layers a little bit of this. Take it like in that hole, put it in and iron it. It gives it strength again. If you're trying to, for instance, you have a jeans that has, I don't know, torn, and a lot of people like want to work in patches there, but I find with patches that on the inside, if it's not a really soft fabric, it actually is irritating. That patch is all the time, you know, scratching your leg. That is also where you can use this knit interfacing to just iron it with where the tear is, close the tear up, and then you can, if you want to do like a pattern over it with your machine or something, but it just gives stiffness, support back where you've lost it, because that jean tore there because it's probably a little bit thin. All right. Okay, guys, I am open to any and every question about sewing available.
Yes, everyone. You know, please ask any questions on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I have all the platforms open. I will ask any questions that you guys have.
Anyone wondering, this is our mini ironing board. There's a few designs. Anyone who still wanted a Maria, there's only one Maria left. Only one. Then the fabric is gone and I can't get it again. All right. And this is our Prim Mini Steam Iron. We got 15 stock last week and we've got 1 left, but we are receiving more stock, I hope, tomorrow. And anyone out there waiting for the Prim ironing rulers that's been out of stock, we are praying that's gonna help, that they will arrive tomorrow also. So I'm very sorry if you had to wait. That was an order mistake. It's never been out of stock. They just in 2 orders didn't send it to us. So yeah, dealing with South Africa. Any questions yet?
I am not sure. I am busy getting Lisa back so she can do the questions answered with you.
All right. I don't know what it is with my dogs tonight. Why they are barking like this.
I have reacquired Lisa.
Great. Sit her up. Bring her on.
Lisa's busy eating now. You're lucky.
Any questions that on your side, Lisa?
My power came on a little early.
Oh yeah, ours also came on a little bit early.
No, hers came on at 5 past. Ours came on at like 10 past. I mean,
Okay.
hers is
Well,
still.
I've waited until exactly 2.5 hours and then it's still not on. Any questions, guys? Anything? You can ask me anything.
There was a question on Instagram, Matthew, in the question box.
Okay.
Okay, let me
I
try.
can't see anything. Everything's still off.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, cool question in the question box. Okay, Lynn just asked on Instagram, can you please do a live on how to do lining, just how to line something?
Oh, okay. So like the whole bagging, aligning thing. Yeah, I can. But I can't really make something and make the lining. Lynn,
We
give
should
me
do
some.
another bag. You know, our best YouTube video so far is the never full bag. We must do another bag and then a separate video online.
Yeah. Okay, so
No.
Lynn, give me some clarification on lining like a jacket, or making the pattern for a lining, or what exactly? Because lining is quite. It's like you're making 2 jackets and then you put them together and then you pull it through a hole and it's done. So give me more info on what you're struggling with. Guys, and also please give us some ideas. Is there something that you need to be able to make, or something simple and small, or that we can do on the lives? If there's any questions on the lives, if anyone's interested in the Hulk, we've had a tutorial on the Hulk, so you can have a look at that. If there's anything you guys want and desperately need but you can't find it anywhere, please send it to me in WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp number is 061 533 4412. And send us some, if you're looking for things, if you have a question. We have a new intern, and she might be on here. Say hi if you hear, Saskia. And she answers all our WhatsApps. And she was a fan before she became our intern. So hopefully she is here tonight. She might not be, I don't know. And she'll be answering all your questions on WhatsApp.
Lynn also asked, are the Maria sleeve thingies ... not the tailor ham, not the tailor's ham, the long one?
This one. We still have one. Let me check.
Matthew,
Yes.
there was a question in the question box.
I know, I'm just asking the questions in the thing first.
There's one Maria sleeve left that I know of, but I can check tomorrow. I think that's actually, we're running out of Marias. We have one sleeve roll left in Maria, and we have 3 tailor's hams left and 1 ironing board. I know this because someone bought one today, and I asked Sibongile and she said we only have 1 sleeve board left. And as I said, I went back. They do not have it anymore, and they are not interested in speaking to me about getting more.
So essentially, Lynn, this is your last chance to get that matching set.
Yeah, because this is mine, but there is one more.
So second last chance.
Lynn, if you want to tell me, and I'll keep it for you. Then you can pay me whenever. But we can, at least I can take it off the website and keep it for you.
Ashley says, do you sell blunt needles for embroidery? And that is the question in the question box for Lisa's information.
Blunt needles for embroidery? You mean like hand embroidery? We have embroidery needles, yes. We have 2 types, 2 sizes. Everything has been rearranged. We have 2. We have a 3/9 set and a 5/10 set. It's on the website, unless you are talking about the really thick ones that you use for cross stitch, those are actually, I'm sure you could use the metal knitting needles. They might actually be the same thing.
Ashley Bell says yes to your earlier question, I assume. Do you answer the first one? And then Lynn says, please reserve the sleeve for me. I'll place the order tonight.
Okay, it's yours.
And Lynn also says, I want to line the Christmas stocking you taught us.
Line the okay, you want to line it. Let me tell you how you're going to do that. You're going to watch the video on our boxes. You remember those fabric boxes, Lynn? They are lined. So you're going to do exactly the same with the Christmas stockings as we did with those boxes. If you can't get it, WhatsApp me and I'll make. I don't want to. Are we making Christmas stockings already? Good freaking hell!
Hi, Christmas!
It's the fabric basket tutorial.
Yeah, the fabric basket tutorial is a box with a lining.
No, guys,
And
Christmas
if you think
tutorial.
about the Christmas stocking, it's not a box, but it's the same concept.
I think that Lynn just wants to do another 12 days of Christmas for the prizes.
Yay!
Oh yeah, ne? But it's first Halloween, is it not?
We are not doing 12 days of Christmas.
No.
I thought you-
again.
you're
I'm
right.
saying this. I'm sorry. We're gonna make it like 3 days of Christmas.
Yes, no, that's
I'm
really-
not doing 12 days of live again.
Yeah, guys, exactly. We're making it 21 days of Christmas. You heard it here first.
Guys, the people who have ordered, have you noticed that we have new little magnets? And tell me what you think about them.
No, what magnet?
We have quite a few new magnets. I'm going to show you. I'll bring them. I'll bring a few to show you guys.
You know what's coming before Christmas? We can just do 12 days of Christmas in July.
No. Okay, so we have
For
little...
the rest of the year, we do a live stream every day.
Nia, I'm not... You must be joking. I'm selling the business. I want to put a white piece
I
of...
quit.
Huh?
I quit.
Do you quit? Well, I'm selling. Who wants a business that does live stream every day? Okay, just so we can see. So we have new, they're very cute, I think. Anyway, little sewing machines. So it's a luck of the draw thing, guys. And we have little...
Or if you place an order for over 10,000 rand, we'll send you whichever freaking one you want.
For over 10,000 rand, I'm pretty sure you can buy all the pins. You'll get all of them.
We'll send you one of each. Yeah.
Okay, so we have little flowers now. And we have little sewing machines. Oh, they're so cute. And we have hearts.
Yes.
Show them up close to the camera.
I will show them up close to the camera.
That's small.
We have little hearts with love on them. And then we have special ones that that we will send out during the month of Halloween.
Ooh.
Yeah, I am prepared this year. I've already got Easters.
Next year.
I've already got next year's Easter magnets. I'm very prepared.
Oh, Matthew, what you are doing is awful.
I'll do it.
Why?
I'll do it. Let me.
Okay, no, there we go. Okay, your second row.
Is it? It's not going very well every time, I'm honest with you. Is that better? They're tiny, this is difficult.
There's a delay, but you have to show it in the middle, otherwise, yeah. Okay, you're in the middle.
If we had a piece of metal, we could just put them on the metal and then put it in front.
If you guys are wondering if I'm really human, I'm really human. I'm not a cyborg, if this was any doubt. They do not stick to me.
Are you?
So you were
That's
saying
so
you guys
boring.
wondering if I'm really human.
You.
Why are you so human?
I'm always humid, I'm always sweaty.
I'm looking for anything metal. Can you believe that I might? Let's see. Does this stick to it?
Show them some
No.
cool
See,
new
this is not
products
metal.
if we have no questions.
The what?
Show them some cool new products if we have no questions.
Cool new products. That's a good question, man. Well, we are trying to not get new products until we've got everything on the website.
No, I mean new ones on the website.
No, I don't know. I just
Do we still have stickers left?
stickers.
Yeah.
We have only a few stickers left. I'll show you what we
And
have
a few pens. Show the pens as well.
left. We only have 2 sets of the sewing stickers left. That's 50 stickers in a box. I'm trying to find the pins. The pins are almost all sold out, I think. I just want to check. But we have many. I've got many coming again, but it comes from China, so it's quite a long wait. I don't actually know where the pins are. I can't find it. No, I don't
But
know.
those stickers are really cool.
I don't know where the pins are. They are hidden from me.
Wasn't me.
No, I can't find them. Sorry, I don't know where.
Maybe they're sold.
They could. No, they couldn't. Can they be? We at least have these 3 left. So there must be more of them. I'll show them to you close up just now. I'm just gonna have a quick squiz. I should actually, one day take you guys on a little bit of a tour here, because it looks quite a bit different than it did. Yeah, no. What we do have is we got quite a few people ordered our zip pullers, and we've got a few new ones, but they are all back in stock. I want to show you what we have. They will. They are not up yet, but they will be up soon. I'm going to show you these because the ones we had were very kitty. So we now have these in different colors, so they can be sewn onto. I want to say onto a normal hoodie. So we have them in all the different colors: brown, grey, black, blue, navy. So that is less kiddies. All our other zip pulls were very kiddie friendly. We also have.
Unless you ask Matthew, then they perfectly suited for an adult man.
Yeah, no.
Of
very
course.
much so we also have. I don't know if anyone has. These are like ABC beads. This is new. This should be up by next week. And
Do
this,
they only go up to C, or do they do the whole alphabet?
No, only ABC. No, I don't know. It's random. It's like a bag. It comes in a bag. And this, I know I got a few funny looks when I bought this. But I am forever, oh gosh, looking for scissors. How is that possible? It's somewhere, yeah, but okay, let's just get another one. I'm forever losing my pen in amongst.
And your scissors.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it with my scissors. In amongst my sewing chaos, and I found these, and they're so. Look, it's like so. So it's just like 70s or 80s, but this. Yeah, unfortunately only one color available. I think they're gonna be on also next week. I think they're like 15 or 20 rand. But I mean, yeah, I think it's quite handy. I know my father always used to look for them because he also works in his workshop, and he's forever putting down his bloody pen somewhere. So these are quite fun for that. We are also adding, I don't know if there's any glitter freaks here. Look at these awesome glitter packs. I think it's the most beautiful colors. They are also going up. What else do we have that's new? New. Oh, we've got some bags. We got some new bags. Let me show you those. Oh, baby bags, but they're bags. These are quite cute. We had these, if anyone bought I think there was a Strelitzia and we had a Strelitzia one, and we had one that had Proteas on. It's the same size little bag, and they are very sturdy. They're like a plasticky vinyl bag, and we have them in the purple, blue, and a very funky green. Okay, those are those. And then these little bags, they all should also go up. We've got a very big upload coming now. These are quite cute, and they are quite nice for like a small knitting or crochet kit, I think, or just for your sewing tools. So they're sort of squarish, but they've been flat boxed. I should actually put something in them so that so we can see the shape. What else can I put in here? Just to show you the shape. I think they're cute for makeup bags, obviously, and for pencil bags. But I think they can take quite a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm sure they can take a scissors. Yeah. And yeah, we have this one. We have this blue flowers, and we have the pink roses. Oh, you know what I do have? I don't know where they are though.
Last call for questions. If anyone has questions, ask now. Forever hold your peace.
Until next week.
Matthew, please monitor.
Monitor wait.
Every week.
Listen, you took my YouTube and Facebook.
What?
You're on my YouTube and Facebook checker.
Matthew, I can't check now, so.
Oh no.
We're also going to launch, I don't know where 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐓 hidden them from me. Fridge magnets that look like old masters paintings. So I'm not going to say they are old masters paintings, because obviously they're not. They're like pictures of. But it's like a gold frame with the Mona Lisa, and a gold frame with Klimt's The Kiss, and there's some Van Gogh, and there's the Scream, and very funky, small like this, with gold, ornate gold frames. That'll also go up with this upload.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Testimonia says that she loves your hair. She says, if I order, am I able to pick it up?
If you order, there's a choice between door-to-door delivery or local pickup, and guys, that's only at checkout. So you won't be able to know ahead of checkout what the courier costs is. I have a lot of questions like this, but going to checkout does not mean you've paid. Okay, so only when you click pay now do you pay. So you can easily go to checkout and check what your courier fee is. But yes, local pickup, and then you will get an email that say order completed, and if you local pickup, you can fetch now, and just WhatsApp us and tell us when you will be coming.
Okay, and then Ashley Bell says, I want to do detached blanket stitch with the needle.
I don't know about detached, but I do understand blanket stitch. Okay, and you want to do it on a blanket. Yes, that you get. I'm gonna quickly grab it. You get what's called knitting needles, but it's not like the knitting needles you think. Wait, just let me get it. Wool needles, it's called.
I'm just stealing Lisa quickly. Sorry, everyone.
So let me just show you. Some of the companies we buy from. Some of the companies we buy.
Just steal you.
Are you? Am I talking or are you talking?
I think we're both talking at the same time.
Okay, some of the companies call it tapestry needles, okay, or knitting needles. These people actually call it embroidery needles. So yes, we do have them, but they are quite thick, so you must know that they will go through whatever you're doing. Okay, guys.
Ashley Bells also says, I see you're sold out on wool needles.
I don't believe we are. What, the metal ones or the plastic one? We have plastic knitting needles. We have many. I'll show you them also. You might just look for more. Sorry, Ashley, I'm talking here behind the camera, but anyway, look for more because we might only be sold out on one of them. Okay, so that's a set of knitting needles, but that's the plastic ones. And then that, and there's metal here and plastic here. And these, maybe they are under, like this one's called 2 heavy embroidery needles. And this one's called tapestry needles.
Ashley Bell says metal.
Yes, yes. These are 2 metal. but just check. Kyk jy gou.
What is it?
Well, it's either called metal knitting needles, or it's called embroidery needles, or tapestry needles. I'm sure they're there because we have them, unless they're not on the website.
Yeah, they come up if you search for metal needles. There's tapestry.
Yes.
Metal needles. Let me just check. No, they are in stock.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
not sure which ones she was looking at, but the ones that say tapestry, 𝐓𝐕𝐄 metal needles are in stock on the website.
and the embroidery, the John James.
Checking. What size?
It says 2 heavy embroidery needles.
Okay.
I'm sure you can just search John James, because that's like the brand name.
Let me do that. Loading. Okay, yeah. They all same stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Can you gonna throw that into, what is that, Insta? That
No, I
asked.
can't.
You
But
can't.
just search for John James.
Okay. So just
and needle letters.
there we go.
Ashley Bell says she found it.
Okay. So we're done. We solved the problem.
Then Carrie's
Super
collection.
detailed needle discussion.
Carrie's collection asks, "Hi, do you guys do custom ribbon printing?"
No, not yet.
Such a great question.
It's a very great question, and I am officially working on different things. I'm not committing to anything.
Okay, I don't see any other questions.
Okay, guys.
Goodbye.
Hmm?
Great goodbye.
Is jy weg? Is jy klaar? Okay, guys. We're gonna love and leave you then. Guys, please sign up. Make 1, 2 undies. You don't need to make like 50. We just need everyone to make 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 10. And then, undies, yes. And then we are gonna help many kids.
Yeah. Go check it out on our website for more information.
Yeah.
We also have, we did a tutorial 2 weeks back to show you exactly how to make the bundle.
Yes, there's a tutorial plus the pattern. And guys, you can use this for your own kids also. It's very easy. I made the pattern in a specific way that you do not need to know how to make underwear, because I don't know how to make underwear. So it's made that you don't need anything extra. All you need is t-shirt fabric, and even the little white bands here, that's also t-shirt fabric. So it's made to not have any elastic in it, so that you don't have to go buy special things. You can just buy 1/2 meter to 1 meter of knit t-shirt fabric and make a few. Please, guys, it's not something we made up. It's something that Red Cross specifically asked us for, and there is so sewing charity projects. There's a lot of people knitting beanies and scarves and knitting and crochet. I can't knit and I can't crochet, so I've never been able to take part in that. I will never get through one beanie. So this is one of the few sewing projects. Okay, guys, we're gonna go. We're gonna eat.
Goodbye to Instagram. I mean, to Facebook and YouTube.
Goodbye, YouTube and Facebook.
Bye.
Lisa is she's also buying. Bye. Thanks for joining us. Send us your requests for lives. Goodbye.
Bye.